Season 2025 to 2026. Bayern Munich builds from the back like they've done for years. Nothing unusual at first glance, but look closer. It's Harry Kane, the striker, dropping deep into his own half to receive the ball from the defenders, not just occasionally, consistently. And here's what makes it insane. He's not only Bayern's top scorer, nearly 2 goals per game, he's also their main playmaker. Under Vincent Kompany, Bayern looks like chaos. Forwards drift into midfield. Fullbacks push extremely high. Positions constantly rotate. On paper, it's a 4-2-3-1. In reality, it's something far more fluid, almost unpredictable. But this isn't random. It's controlled chaos. And that confusion has destroyed opponents, helping Bayern achieve one of the strongest starts in modern European football. What makes this even more surprising is where Bayern came from. Not long ago, they were Europe's most feared machine. Under Hansi Flick in 2020, they won the Champions League, scoring 43 goals in 11 matches and completing a historic sextuple. They were relentless, aggressive pressing, vertical attacks, overwhelming intensity. But after that golden era, things slowly unraveled. Flick clashed with sporting director Hasan Salihamidzic and left. Julian Nagelsmann arrived as the young genius meant to continue the dynasty. He won the Bundesliga, but painful Champions League exits and internal tensions started to show cracks. Reports surfaced about dressing room dissatisfaction. Even tactical plans were leaked to the media. Then came the shock. Nagelsmann was sacked right before the most important stretch of the season. Thomas Tuchel took over. He won the league in dramatic fashion on the final day, but the instability never disappeared. The following season was worse. Despite signing Harry Kane for 100 million euros, the most expensive transfer in Bundesliga history, Bayern struggled. They were eliminated from the cup by a third division team. In Europe, they fell short again. Domestically, they even finished third, their worst league position in over a decade. For the first time in years, Bayern looked lost. No clear identity, no emotional stability. And then came Vincent Kompany. At the time, it sounded almost absurd. Kompany had just been relegated from the Premier League with Burnley. Why would Bayern choose him? But internally, there was belief. Pep Guardiola reportedly recommended him. Kompany had shown bold, possession-based football in England's second division, earning promotion with over 100 points. His philosophy was heavily influenced by Cruyff and Guardiola. Positional play, fluid movement, courage with the ball. Bayern decided to bet on long-term vision rather than short-term panic. And now, we're seeing the result. Kompany's Bayern begins with structure, but thrives on movement. Joshua Kimmich drops between the center backs to form a back three during build-up. One fullback moves inside to maintain balance, while the other pushes forward. Wingers like Elise and Luis Diaz stretch the pitch wide, but the real tactical twist is Harry Kane. Instead of staying high between defenders, Kane drifts into midfield, sometimes even near the defensive line, helping progress the ball. He switches play with precise long passes. He creates overload centrally. He draws center backs out of position. When defenders step forward to follow him, space opens behind them. That's when Bayern attacks. Quick combinations, fast switches to the opposite flank, 2 versus 1 situations on the wings, fullbacks overlapping, midfielders arriving late in the box. The idea is simple. Overload one side, attract pressure, then switch play rapidly to exploit the weak side. And in the final third, Bayern becomes overwhelming. They attack with numbers. They move the ball at high speed. Defenses struggle to keep shape. What's remarkable is that Kane remains lethal inside the box. Despite playing deeper, he's still Europe's top scorer. In fact, he's outperforming his expected goals by a significant margin, finishing with surgical precision. Defensively, Bayern has also improved. Despite playing aggressive, attacking football, they concede very little. That balance requires discipline, intense pressing, coordination, and tactical understanding. Every player must read the game correctly. Of course, the true test will always be the Champions League. Against elite pressing teams like PSG or Manchester City, small tactical flaws get exposed, and Bayern has already shown vulnerability against well structured defensive blocks. But domestically, they look dominant again. More importantly, they look united. Kompany didn't just bring tactics, he restored belief. He arrived when the club was emotionally unstable and rebuilt trust between players, staff, and fans. Bayern has already extended his contract until 2029, signaling full commitment to his project. His philosophy goes beyond formations. It's about conviction, about trusting movement over rigidity, about believing that intelligence and work ethic can outperform fear. Kompany once said he wanted to coach not just because of Guardiola's ideas, but because of how he communicated them, the clarity, the belief, the passion. Now he's transmitting that same energy in Munich. Bayern's transformation isn't just tactical, it's psychological, from confusion and instability to identity and confidence. And at the center of it all stands Harry Kane. Not just a striker, but the symbol of a new era, creative, disciplined, selfless, and deadly. Because in the end, greatness doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from constant work, sacrifice, and belief, especially when no one else believes.